Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make South Park Elementary. This is a really fun cartoon build, but I have also found that this makes a great addition to my very own city. Let's get started. This is the amount of space required to make the build, and here are all of the materials. Begin by placing 11 yellow concrete in a row on the ground. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then extend up by 3. 1, 2, 3. Extend to the right by 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then down to the ground. Extend the block on the ground to the right by 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then extend backwards by 14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We now want to extend across the back of the build an equal amount that we did on the front. We want to extend to the right until we reach the same point that we did on the front of the build, and then extend upwards by an equal amount as well, which is 3. 1, 2, 3. Then extend to the right by 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then extend down to the ground, and then extend all the way over to the right and match up with where we started on the front of the build as well. So we can just extend the yellow concrete forwards until we inevitably hit the start, and we should be left with this perfectly symmetrical floor plan. Next, extend the front left hand corner of the building up by 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then extend all the way over to the right and join down to the opposite corner of the front of the build. Then extend the top corner backwards and down to the back corner of the build. Do the same, extending over to the opposite side. And then join everything together. Just like this. We have a bunch of windows to add. We're going to start on the front left hand side of the build, and along this bottom row of yellow concrete we want to place an additional yellow concrete. Place 2 light blue glass extending right, 1, 2, and then 3 yellow concrete, 1, 2, 3, and then 2 light blue glass, just like this. Add another layer of glass on top of the glass. Then we want to, on the top left hand corner of this first window, place 4 yellow concrete. 1, 2, 3, 4. Extend the bottom yellow concrete inwards by 1 and the top yellow concrete inwards by 1, and place blue concrete in between, like this. Continue on and place a 2x2 square of light blue glass on top of our yellow concrete. Then we want to, extending right, place 3 rows of yellow concrete with 2 glass, 3 rows of yellow concrete, 2 glass, 3 rows of yellow concrete, 2 glass, 3 rows of yellow concrete, 2 glass, and then finally stick a yellow on the end. We then want to add an additional layer of glass on top of all of the glass that we have placed, and then come all the way over to the bottom right hand corner of the build to mirror what we have on that opposite side, which is going to be a yellow concrete in the corner here, moving along the bottom row of yellow concrete, 2 light blue glass, then 3 yellow concrete, 2 light blue glass, and an additional layer of glass on top of our glass. Then, on top the top right hand corner of the right window, we want to place a row of yellow concrete connecting the top and bottom together, extend the top and bottom blocks inwards by one with blue concrete in between, and then extend the 2 rows of blue concrete all the way over to the opposite side of the build. Like this. Whilst we're on the front of the build, we also want to make the door. The door is 1 row behind the yellow concrete frame. Place a row of light grey concrete along the bottom of the door space, with 2 rows of brown on top of it, like so. Then stick 2 stone brick walls in the centre 2 blocks like this, and there we have the door. We now want to come onto the back of the build and do almost the exact same thing as we did on the front. We can actually use the front of the build as a guide on where to place all of the glass and all of the yellow concrete. The only difference between the front and the back of the build is the fact that we do not want to place the blue concrete. That is literally the only difference. The placement for the doors and the placement for the windows is still the same, just leave off the blue concrete and you can't really go too far wrong. There we go. Next, we have to fill all of the walls in using yellow concrete. Just like this. On the top left and top right sides of the school, we want to add 4 rows of yellow concrete that slowly turn the sides of the roof into a more triangular shape. The first row is 1 row shorter than the previous. The second row is of course the same. We want to do that once again with the third, and the fourth of course is the smallest of all, just like this. We of course want to do the exact same thing on this opposite side. With this complete, we can now install the roof. The roof is really simple. Begin by placing a row of magenta concrete in front of the top of the school. Like this. Extend the magenta concrete 1 row so that it is overhanging the side, and then extend the concrete inwards and upwards until eventually the concrete is 1 row higher than the actual school wall itself. We can then place an equal row of magenta concrete along the top of the back of the school, And if we have that row overhang by one, and then extend it inwards and upwards until once again it is one row higher than the actual school itself, join it together at the top like this, and I think that you guys will be able to see where this is going. Do the exact same thing on the opposite side to form the sides of the roof. Now with that complete, we just join the two sides of the roof together. Next up, we have to make a bunch of banners that will make up the sign that says South Park Elementary. Throw down a loom, open it up, place a blue banner in there with some black dye. The first letter that we are going to make is S, a horizontal row of black at the top, the bottom, and a diagonal row top left corner to bottom right corner will give us S. O is a vertical row of black on the left, right, horizontal along the top and the bottom. Next is U, that's a vertical row of black on the left and right with a horizontal row along the bottom. Next is T, that's a horizontal row of black along the top and a vertical row straight up the middle. Next is H, that's a vertical row of black on the left and right with a horizontal row of black straight through the middle. I'm going to store these away because we have a bunch more letters to make. The next letter is P, so this is a vertical row of black on the right side of the banner, put blue dye in there and make the lower half of the banner blue, put black dye back in, and place a horizontal row of black straight through the middle of the banner, the top of the banner and a vertical row of black on the left side. Next is A, so that is a vertical row of black on the left and right sides with a horizontal row along the top and through the middle. Next is R, this is a vertical row of black along the left side, horizontal along the top, and a diagonal row top left corner to bottom right corner. Next is K, this is a vertical row of black on the left side, and both of the diagonal rows. Once again, I'm just going to store these away. Next letter is E, this is a vertical row of black on the left, a horizontal across the top, through the middle, along the bottom. Next is L. This is a vertical row of black on the left and a horizontal row of black along the bottom. Next would be E again, so we can reuse this. So instead we are moving over to M. M is the triangle at the top of the banner. Place blue dye in there. We then want to apply the three little triangle effect. Grab that, put that back in, place black dye in there instead. Vertical row of black on the left and the right will give us M. Then we would need E again, but we already have it, so we will move on to N, which is a vertical row of black on the left, the right side, and a diagonal row top left corner to bottom right corner. Next would be T, but we already have that. Then it would be A, we already have that, and then R, but we already have that. So we will be making Y, and this will be our last letter. This is a diagonal row of black top left corner to bottom right corner. Place blue dye in there, make the lower half of the banner blue, place black dye in the banner, and place the opposite diagonal effect top right corner to bottom left corner, and that will give us all of our letters. So to place the banners, it's really simple. We start all the way over on the left and we do the first word in order. So S, O, U, T, H, P, A, R, K, which is of course South Park. We then want to leave a gap of 1 and place E, L, E, M, E, N, T, A, R, Y, and that should fit perfectly in between the 2 rows of blue concrete. And that's the sign complete. There is a flagpole in front of the school. To find the position, come to the bottom left hand corner of the front of your school and count to the right 1, 2. And then in the ground count forwards by 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Destroy this block, place a podzol, and then on top of this 11 stone brick wall. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Stick a smooth stone slab on top. Place a blue concrete right of the top wall with 2 red concrete right of the blue. Place red concrete underneath everything that you have made. And there we have the flag. There is a wall on the left and right sides of South Park Elementary. Come all the way to the left front side of your build. Take the bottom yellow concrete block that we have here and count backwards 1, 2, and then place a row of bricks extending outwards until it hits the boundary. Then simply add 2 more rows of bricks on top of that initial row, like this. And do the exact same thing on the opposite side. We want to grow a set of spruce trees along the back of both of these walls. To do this, I'm going to leave a gap of 2 from the school, and then on the wall, place a podzol which we can grow a sapling out from, and we then want to leave a gap of 2, and then place the same. Gap of 2, place the same, like this. Then if we place spruce saplings on top of the podzol directly behind the top of the wall, and then grow them using bone meal, like so, it gives us trees that are pretty much the right height. All we then have to do is simply connect the logs all the way down to the ground, removing the podzol that we grew the actual saplings from, and we can do this on both sides. Perfectly sized trees. In front of the left wall there is a small rock formation. This can be achieved by placing a row of freestone slabs, extending the middle one up and then forwards by 1 like this. If we add a bone meal left and right like so, that will be perfect. We also want a pathway leading from the school entrance to the pavement or vice versa. The pathway is the width of the actual door. It will extend all the way to the outer part of the grid, and the first 2 rows of the width of the grid also want to be light grey concrete as well. I'm only marking this out, I'll fill it in properly later. I want you to dig out the entire grid that exists behind the 2 brick walls that we just made. I'm going to replace the white concrete that I used for the grid with light grey concrete and place 2 rows of iron bars on top of the light grey concrete. This will allow us to better set out the structure of the playground at the back of the school. At the back of the school, there is a football pitch and a basketball court. On the left side here, as we look towards the front of the school, we want to place a row of 11 lime terracotta extending forwards from the back corner of this fence. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We can then extend that 11 terracotta inwards. The idea is that we want to line up with the yellow concrete of the door frame here. And then we can just extend all the way backwards and then fill these two lines in using lime terracotta. We want to do the exact same thing on this opposite side using cyan terracotta. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and then extend inwards until we reach the same point as the opposite side, so here, and then back towards this fence, and fill it in this time using cyan terracotta. In between these two areas will be rows of light grey concrete. We also want to have 3 rows of light grey concrete that span the entire width of the back of the school, like this, literally from one side of the fence to the other. With then the central rows connecting towards the back door of the school, like this. So for the football pitch, we want to, extending inwards from either end of one of the corners of the pitch, we want to find the 4th block in. So 1, 2, 3, 4, place a smooth quartz stair, followed by 3 cobweb. So 1, 2, 3, and then on the end of that, a smooth quartz stair. We should have a perfectly centered net like this, to which we then want to place cobwebs in front of these stairs, with smooth quartz stairs on top of the cobwebs, join them together using cobwebs themselves. Then we want to place diorite wall in front of the cobwebs and the stairs, with quartz slab on top extending across like this, and that will be one net. And we want to do the exact same thing on this opposite side. We can complete the pitch by placing a white shulker box near the middle. That's perfect, we'll fill it in later. For the basketball court, we want to take any one of the outward corners and find the 6th block in. So this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And on top of this block, stack 2 polished black stone wall. 1, 2. Place a red concrete on top, and then place quartz slabs either side of the red concrete, forming solid quartz blocks, and then quartz blocks along the top of the red concrete and the quartz blocks. A cobweb in front of the upper black stone wall, and then we want to do the exact same thing on this opposite side. Place an orange shulker box somewhere towards the centre of the court, and all we have to do is fill that in later. With all of those details added, all we have to do is some filling in. On the front of the build, I'm going to replace all of the grass with podzol. Then, fill in all of the pavement / the walkway leading up to the entrance of the school with light grey concrete. Then, I'm going to apply a layer of snow on top of the podzol. I'm going to leave some of it exposed so that we get a cool effect. On the back of the build, I'm also going to replace all of the grass that is closer towards the school and the trees with podzol. And then apply a layer of snow on top of the podzol, once again bunching it up, smoothing it out, leaving some of the podzol exposed, making it look all nice and natural. Fill the pathway in using light grey concrete, fill the football pitch in using lime terracotta, and the basketball court in using cyan terracotta. And once you have completed all of that, you should be left with a 100% perfectly completed South Park Elementary. I hope that you guys have enjoyed this tutorial. Thank you so much for watching. Please do remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I hope to see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.